Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome, Brandon. How you doing?
Hey, good, Kathy. How are you today?
I'm doing good. So, guys, before we get started on the show, if you notice the banner at the bottom asking, please be advised, this episode may contain sensitive material. The reason for that is today's talk, we are going to be talking about the difference between obsession and love. And as we all know, there is a very recent case in regard, in the States going on right now. I don't want to say the name simply because I do feel that all women need to be, and men for that matter, when it comes to obsession, I don't feel that any one person needs to be focused on. And so, as we get into the top, we could get into, some pretty sensitive or let's just say triggering material. And so as we do go throughout the show, and we are going to be doing the readings, very soon, we do want to just give that warning ahead of time. Okay. So now let's get into the actual, how we're going to be doing our readings today. So as you guys know, we did change it a little bit. So readings with a $10 donation will be first in our readings list. If you donated under $10, we will be where am I going here? Okay. We will be giving you two numbers for the lottery. So Brandon will be having a list going. He will give you a number in that list. We will be putting the list up onto the screen so that you guys do know your lottery list number and everything else. So this is what we're going to be doing. Also, I know I had something to say. I totally... guys, we just want to talk about what it is that we do and do not read on. So we do not read on health matters. Okay. We do not read on, third-party situations. Basically, we are not a spy camera for you. We do not read on legal matters. All right. So we just want to give you a heads up. HJ Savage 70. Hello, welcome to the show. So you can actually, all the information is up on the screen, and it is either through PayPal or through e-transfer, depending on where you live. If you're in Canada, you can use e-transfer. If you are in the States, or international, you can use PayPal, and it is through crogers5555, that's 4 5s, @gmail.com. So, hey, Brandon, how you doing?
I'm good. It's honestly been a really, really nice energy day today for me. I'm not sure what shifted. The full moon was definitely very intense for me. I felt quite emotional. I was speaking with a lot of people that day, and I just noticed towards the end of the day, I was just feeling drained in my energy. I was really feeling like I was taking on a lot of other people's feelings and anxieties, and I kind of forgot. So I have a process that I do when I work with clients, right? When I'm giving psychic readings and when I connect with people, I have a very clear process for myself. I ground my energy and then I cleanse and clear when I'm done. Well, I was just speaking with a lot of friends, colleagues, coworkers, family. And so it just didn't occur to me to do that. You know what I mean? Like it didn't occur to me to like ground my energy and then cleanse and clear afterwards. Cause they're like my people. And I was just feeling like all sorts of emotions, all sorts of different people's flows, all my energy. And that finally got shaken out. And today I just feel honestly really great. I feel very clear-minded, clear in my energy. And I was just looking at some of my natal chart stuff, and it's looking like I've got some really good connections. So that's why I really love astrology. It's always been a great tool for me to keep learning about myself, what's happening with me. And it changes all the time, because our planets are moving all the time. And it's just, to me, it's so clear. It's like a bio clock, our solar system. And when certain things click, different alerts happen, different moments happen, different energies kind of get streamlined into our consciousness. So it's pretty cool.
It was a Pisces moon, and I am actually a Pisces moon with 4 other Pisces placements. So I got 5 Pisces placements. So I was kind of like a fluttering nesty butterfly. That's the best way to describe it. I mean, like, I'm up, I'm down, I'm fluttering here, I'm fluttering there. I don't know what I'm doing, but it was a really good releasing moon. So I want to get into our topic a little bit. And, it's interesting because we actually came up with this topic this afternoon, Brandon and I, having a discussion, and we were talking about that difference between obsession and love. And, not only because of, our clients, but we've probably dealt with that. We've dealt with, our friends that are going through stuff like that. And, and it really comes down to where do you stop? Like, where is that obsession, and where is that boundary between the obsession and actual love? And, and then when we talk about obsession, we, as we all know, obsession in any form can be extremely dangerous. And especially when it turns into relationships, because then it can also turn into that element of where we do have the stalking. We do have, dangerous, situations. And personally, as somebody who actually had to deal with a stalker, and it was a pretty serious one, where I actually had to be escorted to and from my job. As soon as I pulled into a parking lot at my job, I had to be escorted into the building. I had to be escorted out of the building by security every single day for weeks until, because at that time they did not have stalking laws. And so there was nothing legally that I could do. And when I went to a restaurant, if I went to a restaurant with I had to go with a group of friends. It wasn't like I would just go with a friend, because going with that one friend could have caused some serious issues. So I always went with a group. And this went on for about a month until finally, there was legal action that was taken. And so when you're in that situation, and I'll tell you something, that's something that carries throughout your life, and you get very what is the word? I put it this way, you're very wary of people, to some degree. You want to have trust, you want to have faith, you want to have whatever, but you really notice those red signs fairly quickly, those red flags. And when you do see those red flags coming in, it does make you back away quite quickly. So anyway, Brandon, Kay, yes, we did get it. Thank you so much. We actually did get everybody's, from what I can tell here. So thank you. And I will make a list for Brandon here in regards to the readings. So Brandon, what's your take on this? What is the difference? What would you define that difference being?
For me, it's very clear. It's very, very clear cut. Any sort of obsession, I feel, is actually negative. And some people might disagree with me on that. I highly encourage you to. But what I'm speaking of is obsession is something that it really is ruled by, if we're looking at astrology, as I like to often do, it's ruled by the planet Pluto. And when we become obsessed with something, we often neglect everything else, or a bunch of other things, or maybe even just one other thing in our life. Obsession does not create balance. And it seems pretty clear that as humans, we are here to experience balance in some form or another. That's where the idea of karma and dharma, that entire concept has come from. That's where yin and yang has come from. That's where you look at all of our systems and our cycles of the earth, like water, precipitation, these go in cycles. They flow in cycles. It rains and it goes back up and evaporates and rains. We have digestive systems, circulatory systems in our own bodies. These things need homeostasis. They need balance. So of course, as humans, we also need balance too in our consciousness and our day-to-day life. And when you are obsessed with something, you're entering into a hyper-focused, hyper-vigilant state where you tune out everything else and you're only focused on that one thing. So therefore, obsession is never healthy. Obsession is never a healthy thing. Even if it is, for example, saying being obsessed with work, say you're an artist and you are just obsessing over art. Yeah, sure, that can bring you really great things, right? But it also is going to force you to neglect different parts of your life that, you just will not be healthy.
Absolutely.
But the difference here, love is unconditional acceptance. Accepting something without condition, accepting something exactly as it is. And therefore, I think that's the very clear-cut difference, is obsession is a singular point of focus, whereas love is accepting universally of all things. Right. Oftentimes we do deal with relationship readings, in the psychic realm and psychic capacity.
Most of our
it's definitely the most predominant thing that people want to know about, because it's so hard to define love. It's so confusing. It goes against every form of logic, and many times we've come across obsessive behaviors. We've seen it, and it's important, I think, to of course deal with it, but as just psychic advisors, we're not fully there to be like therapists, even though a lot of people use us in that way. But we're not there. We don't know. We don't clinically diagnose anything. We don't do anything like that. We just speak on energy, which can arguably be just as important and just as healing, right? When you speak on just energy, because that's all we are. It's all everything is. It's just energy. But it's so important for everybody listening, all of us, myself, Kathy included, for us to really maintain balance by not letting the obsessions single out or dismiss all the other things that are trying to enter our life, or the things that we really need. So if you are in doubt here and you're worried about you being obsessed about something, you're worried about yourself getting out of balance here, just ask yourself, can I live without this? If the answer is no, then you might have some kind of obsession. I'm not talking about our basic needs like, water, food, shelter, clothing. I'm not talking about that. But in relationships, you should be able to live without relationships. We have such a toxic viewpoint of what love should be. We talk about this a lot, of Hollywood and entertainment's point of views about love and how just unrealistic it is. And that's why it's entertainment. It's there to entertain you, to show you an alternate sense of reality that doesn't exist. And I think at the very least, you just have to exercise acceptance. If you question if somebody's in love with you or you're in love with somebody else, if you can accept in this very moment that they don't love you, or they won't love you, or they won't be with you, then you're experiencing real love in yourself. You have real love for them because you're accepting the possibility of them being with you. You're accepting the possibility of them not being with you. And if you can accept both, you're absolutely in a state of genuine love. If you cannot accept that fact, for example, if you have a love interest and you hear of them going with somebody else and you absolutely lose your shit, you're not in love. You're not in love. I'm sorry.
I'm going to say something against that for a second. Okay. I feel though, however, in saying that is the difference is if you're in a relationship, or there's the assumption of a relationship, or there is a connection in there that you were led to believe that you were the only person within that relationship. And because if you are giving love to somebody, you're under the assumption that what they are saying is truthful and honest,
Yes.
and coming from a place of them possibly being in that same position that you are. And if you're being truthful and honest, and you're coming from that place of love, you're expecting that in return. So saying that, and it's like, oh, you know, you're in this relationship, and somebody is, you know, cheating or with somebody else, and you did not know, there was an assumption that you were singularly in a partnership, then I do not agree. I do not agree.
No, I would agree. My statement is under the presumption that everybody is, you know,
If
honest,
you have a crush
direct,
on somebody, and you know you love them, you unconditionally love them as a person, you know, that's a whole different thing. You know,
when you have adults,
and you just want them to be happy, you know, or whatever. Okay, that, you know what, that I absolutely agree with. But when it comes to, you know, anything else, and again, there's that, you know, you're dating somebody, and you know, you are in love with them, and you're, you know, if you've asked those typical questions, or you haven't seen those red flags, or, you know, if you have asked them in regards to the red flags that you may have possibly seen, and you are being lied to, or whatever it is, then no, you have all rights to lose your shit. And I don't mean take a, I don't mean in a violent way or anything else.
No, but
you know, that, you know, by all means, absolutely, you should, you know, have that confrontation, and be allowed to have that confrontation. Absolutely.
Yes.
I do agree. Now, you know, the interesting thing is, you know, we also have, you know, a lot of people that are in this assumption that, you know, because they have feelings, that somebody else has to have those feelings for them.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
And that can be very, very, you know, hurtful to us as, you know, as individuals, right? So if we're in this place of, well, I have these feelings, so, you know, this other person must have these feelings too. And I think that to some degree, now I know we kind of differ on this topic. I do believe in the twin flame energy. However, what we have to remember is that the twin flame energy is your own soul. And so this is the assumption. It is your soul, it's just in another person as well. And this is where a lot of people get caught up into that negative behavior. And because they'll say, well, I'm going to have to be with this person. He's my twin. She's my twin. I have to be with this person. That is just the be all and end all of this whole existence, is to, and then what happens is, if that person has another path, or that person has other feelings, you know, if somebody, let's say, was assuming that I was their twin, and my soul was like, I'm going to work, and I'm going to do this, and I'm maybe with this person, or I'm going to be with this person, whatever it is. And this person's like right here, and not moving on with their life, then that becomes a serious issue. And a lot of red flags are ignored. A lot of behavior is ignored. A lot of bad and violent and vicious, sometimes, behavior is brushed under the rug, under the assumption that, well, he's my twin, or she's my twin, or I was told that we're going to be together forever. Okay, but at some point, here's the thing, is that what we have to do is also accept the fact that if this person is my twin, would I beat myself up?
Right.
Would I cheat on myself? Right. Would I be dishonest with myself? Would I ignore my own phone call? So if the answer is coming through is yes, then that's work that you need to do on yourself.
100%. Life is meant to be lived and moved forward. We're not supposed to be sitting here stagnant. and we are not supposed to be submitting ourselves to abuse, to negativity. That's not how life is supposed to work. I think we all have enough, with gravity and challenging experiences coming to our space. We don't need to make it any harder than it already is, to be here. It could be a very difficult school for some. So, you just gotta set clear boundaries for yourself and know what you're
as soon as you
not
set
gonna
clear
do.
boundaries,
Yeah.
and as soon as you start appreciating who you are as a person, and as soon as you start loving yourself as the human and the soul that we were given, that's amazingly when things really start to change.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not change with your particular twin, but it's going to change in your whole love life in general. And it's like when I'm focusing in on me, and I've said to a lot of people, okay, just because this is your twin, would you allow your twin to speak to you in this manner? Okay, or no, just because I'll say to them, sorry, I said that wrong actually. Would you allow any other person to speak to you in the manner that this person is speaking to you? No. Okay, so why in the hell are you tolerating it from this one person? Well, they're my twin. Bullshit. Okay. And it doesn't mean that they're not, but again, why would you, if you're allowing somebody to speak to you in that tone or in that way or in that behavior, or if you're allowing abusive behavior or whatever it is, then you're not fully loving yourself as well. And so that is unconditional love, right?
Yeah.
And in order for your twin or your soul partner or whatever it is that you want to call it, whatever name you want to, title you want to stick that package under, if you're not loving yourself first, then, because that twin is going to reflect the underneath energy of what it is that you're carrying.
Ooh, you're hitting me hard with that one, Kathy.
But it's very true.
It's so true. And you know what?
Right?
There's also a difference between like having self-love and self-worth and being a douchebag. Like, let's be honest.
Absolutely, right?
I think there's so many people.
That's ego.
There's so many people that have like taken on this like mantra, self-love, self-care, blah, blah, blah. And, they're just all literally coming from ego. It's just a phrase right now and a catch for them for the ego to come out. Like, it's ridiculous. I'm like, okay, well, you do you, boo-boo. It's okay. You do your own thing. We're cool. Because the moment that something goes awry, your cool is gone. So we know where you really are. We know you're coming from ego. It's so easy now, I think, over the years of identifying it in myself, working with people in this capacity, and obviously having psychic senses to just notice when an ego is coming out. It's so easy to see now. And it really is, like some people are saying in the chat, and like what you're saying as well, Kathy, all relationships are a reflection of yourself. And so if you feel like, something is hitting your ego, chances are it's probably hitting, the other person's too in that moment. It's just what you do in that moment. Are you going to let the ego come out and control the reaction, or are you going to let that heart come out? Which is what, everybody? Unconditional acceptance. You just accept things as they are. That is real love right there. You accept things unconditionally. That does not mean you need to tolerate something, right? Say somebody, has gone off and they're like, oh, well, I gotta go and steal this sign. It's a part of my soul mission. You're like, I love you and I accept you. You go do your thing. But if you go do that, you might go to jail. I'm not going to be a part of it. See you later. You go do your thing. I'll come visit you. No big deal. There's a difference.
100%. I've seen so many damaging. I remember one client, and this was a few years back, where, she was like, well, I know we're twins and I know he's not ready. So, I allow him to tell me all about his sex life with different people, but it really kills me on the inside. I'm like, are you stupid, girl? Like, sorry, I mean, let's not do this. Okay. Because, no, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable.
Shit, Kathy. What are you doing?
And sometimes people just need a tuning up, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay, I understand where you're coming from. I understand what your concept is of that unconditional love, but that unconditional love is not being a battering ram for,
exactly.
for if somebody knows that you have feelings for them and they're like, well, I had sex with like 20 different people last week. And I don't know, no, go away, dude. Go away. You go get some therapy. And when you're a real boy, you can come back to me. When you're a real man, then we can have an actual conversation. Right? But until that time, you go get some help, because I'm not your therapist. I'm not your whatever. And it's funny because I think a lot of people, and here's the thing, how do you know it's an obsession? Well, you know it's an obsession when you have to check and see everybody that they've liked that day.
Oh my God, if you are checking up on somebody's social media, you are obsessed. It's just plain and simple. If you are checking up on their social media every day, you're obsessed.
The
No
social
question
media,
about it.
I don't know if that's complete obsession, but I do feel if you're going through the friends list, if you're checking to see
Oh, that's
everybody that
definitely
they've liked,
crazy.
all of the pictures, if you're, I check on social media pretty much a lot of people.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I'll scroll and I'll be like, hey, what's my kid up to? What's this person up to? What's this person up to? Because
we
especially
have
with like
to.
social media, like Facebook, we don't see. It does limit, a lot of the posts, or same with Twitter, it does limit, or even Instagram. I mean, if you have a lot of friends, like I know, I've had friends say, oh, I posted this thing. How do you like my picture?
Right,
And I'm like,
right.
I didn't even freaking see your picture because it's not showing up. So I got to go.
Yeah, it's drowned in the algorithm. No,
But the
I mean,
difference
for
is
us,
that when you're like opening and you're going through, okay, well, I have to see if they liked all of
yes,
800
using social
of their
media,
friends, today
it's
and
a
stuff.
necessity now. Like, we and many other people, you have to go on for work. You have to be able to see what's going on with certain people, clients. You have to have visibility for yourself. Checking at, I think, every day is normal. That's kind of where we all are. But I'm talking about if you are specifically singling somebody out and looking at all of their social media online, and you're doing that every day, that is an obsession. If you are going to that one person and you're just like, okay, this is what they did here. This is what they did here today. This is what they did here. Oh my God, they emailed me here and I got their spam and notification.
Who were they talking to at 2:00?
Yeah, that's obsession. You can't, and that's the rub with social media right now, is that there's so much available and so much that we can access, that people are professional private eyes now under the guise of just a few pieces of information. They find out all this stuff about, oh my God, they went to freaking Sandra back in high school, and now Sandra's over here and she works as the PTA. So she sold him a bet. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, listen, this is too much. You got to go live your life. You got to go do your own thing.
We got to take a step back.
We got it.
The thing is that if it's becoming where you're not moving on, you're not allowing yourself that freedom to enjoy who it is that you are and do your hobbies, and here's the thing, the best couples in the world, that I personally know, I could be wrong. I mean, this is just my small little, and for me, I know what kind of person I am, and I'm not somebody who likes somebody that hovers, like I have a hobby, or I have my job. And so you have a job, you have a hobby. The thing is having that trust. So, I've been in relationships where you've been in the bathroom and it's like, you okay? You okay?
Yeah.
You coming out? Like, no, like, okay, you know what? Where you're going out the front door and never coming back in. Like that's going to be the end.
Happy don't take no shit.
That is end of that. But it's like, I completely believe in man caves and a woman cave, or, whatever it is. Like, I'm all for that. You have a garage, you have a man, go spend some time in your man cave if you need to spend time in the man cave, or I've got my place, you know, you don't need to be all the time. But those are the people that I've seen the best relationships out of, because there's that trust, that honesty, that faith in each other, that support with each other, and still being able to, you know, do your thing, right?
I like to call it
Under that umbrella.
This is what I say. I say, you know, you independently complement one another, individual, and you grow together. You don't stop growing. You don't stay in the stasis just so you can stay together. No. See, even that's a bit obsessive. If you hold yourself back and the other person holds themselves back as far as their growth, just so you can stay together, that's also a bit obsessive too. The thing is, you guys don't understand how many times Kathy and I will watch people that we're like reading for or watch friends sell their entire lives short and miss out on all these opportunities just for one little thing that they don't even know if it's really what they want. But they're only reacting to the obsession, and they're not even asking themselves why they are. And meanwhile, they're missing every other opportunity that's out there for them. And it gets very frustrating. And this is a big reason why we wanted to talk about
the person. They don't even know if they actually like the person.
They don't even know.
Because they don't even know the person as a human being, right?
Obsession is not genuinely liking someone. It's a trigger in yourself that you are repeating because you've got some kind of issue internally that you're like, I need to obsess about this. Trust me, I know obsessions because I get obsessed about things. I've got Pluto right on my midheaven, connected to my moon, connected to my sun. I know obsession. Trust me. I definitely know it very, very well. I mean, I think even just last show, I was telling you guys about a song I was obsessed with. When I'm missing every other good song that's out there, I'm listening to this one, you know, stupid song that only has like 5 words, really. So it's like, I definitely get it. I know it. We're all human. You know, we're not faulting anybody for what they're doing. It's just a generalization. We see people who are selling themselves short constantly. And if we can help y'all live to your own potential, that's why we're here. You know, that's why we're doing all this. We don't want to see you guys get stuck, you know. Honestly, you know, I don't know about you, Kathy, but my goal and my aim for giving psychic readings and helping people heal and overcome things is so I work to heal people so they never need me again. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I work to heal and help them so that way they don't even need to reach out and have a session with me. They're like, they just want to talk to me. And at that point we become friends. You know, we just talk and we engage. I'm like, I don't need you, but I love you. And I'm like, I freaking love you too. So let's just talk and be cool. But, you know, if you're going to use me and abuse me for my psychic information, well, then, yeah, you know, we got to do an exchange somewhere. And speaking of which, you can find me on thedreamteacher.com. You can book an appointment, hit me up with my services, hit the appointment tab, shoot me an email. I would be glad to connect with you.
Absolutely. And if you guys want a full reading with me, you can contact me at oracleintuitions.com or email me at oracleintuitions1111@gmail.com. or through my Facebook and Instagram pages. Okay, so guys, we're going to take a couple minute break. It's actually literally a 3-minute break. And when we get back, we're going to be doing readings for Rachel, Simran, Kalel, Holly, and Kayla to start. If you wish to make a donation, all of the information is up on the screen. And then afterwards, we will be, because if you make a donation, it does either put you in the priority list. A donation of $10 will put you into that absolute reading list, or anything under $10 will give you 2 numbers for the lottery list. And then after we're done the donation list, we will go right into the lottery. So just give us a couple of minutes. And
so real quick, who is Simran? Is that our...
Yeah, I did get hers. Yeah, I got hers. Yeah.
I don't have Simran's question. Is that SJ in the chat?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, SJ, Simran, if you could please put your info in the chat, your first name, zodiac sign, and question, so I can put you on our list here. Everyone else, if you have not typed in your question, please do so. Just make sure I don't see it yet. But Holly, Kayla, I don't know if you put your question in, Kay. But yeah, please put your question in. Those of you who are waiting on the lottery, put your questions in now. That way I can put you on our list. If you donated under $10, remember you do get two numbers, so you have a better chance of winning the lottery. Everyone else, type your questions in, type it all in. I will put you on that lottery list if you did not donate. So we will see you all on the other side. Thank you.
Okay, we'll be right back, guys. Hello, boys and girls. We are back. ER, I just want to, if you, I'm just going to ask you to rephrase your question. Telling somebody is somebody the one for them. That's something I actually don't do. I should have said this at the beginning of the show, simply because I can never, nothing is guaranteed in this life. And so, we can check into their feelings. We can check, and also please, if you can kind of specify where you guys are, like, is this somebody, that you're dating, or is it somebody you saw on a train? Like, that there's a huge difference in that. So, but we never actually say somebody is going to be the one for you. Okay.
Well, see, this is a difference, I think, between the older ways of doing psychic readings in the past versus what we've come to understand now as a more evolved species, is that there isn't just one person that's out there for us. I mean, there are over 7 billion people on this planet. There's just no freaking way. There's no way. And I like to state it as this: every single relationship can absolutely work. Every single one. It's just a matter of what you need to sacrifice or gain in yourself to make it so. Plain and simple. So every single relationship can absolutely work. But okay, so you guys might throw an example at me. You might totally think that it's a crazy statement to make, but hear me out. Okay, so say you are, there's a relationship where maybe there is a lot of emotional abuse, right? Well, you're going to have to forego your own personal self-worth, your own security in order to make that work. But is that something you want to do? Obviously not. It's not healthy. But we're not here to judge. We're not here to judge the decisions you make. You live
Although
your
saying
life.
that,
You
we're
only
not
you
going to
are going to
support,
know.
violent or abusive situations either.
Exactly.
So, and we're only going to be shown so much. So, I never tell somebody, yes, this is going, I mean, people can pass away, people can get sick, things can happen. And so if you're just tied only to this one individual, especially based on what possibly a psychic could say, I don't think that's ethical for me personally. That's the way I look at it. And I believe Brandon's, the same way. So I just want to
Absolutely.
put that out there, all right. So let's get into it. So first,
Real quick. HJ Savage, is that Holly?
yes.
Holly, if we could have yours, zodiac sign, as well as your boyfriend of many years, his first name and zodiac sign as well, please, love. So when we get to your question, thank you. Love T, hello, our Love T. Welcome back, love. So we did have to update our list. I'm not sure if you saw in our previous shows. So what we have to do is, because we're getting too many donations, we've got a limit. We got to create a limit for our donations. So $10 and up is the priority donation list. Anything donated below that is going to put you on multiple entries for our lottery list. So just so you are aware, and anybody else that's listening. Those of you who are on Facebook or on I Want to Believe channel, I do not see your question. If you've put a question in there for a reading, please pop over to Oracle Intuition's YouTube page, watch that live so I can get your question. So if you're on Facebook or I Want to Believe, pop over to Oracle Intuitions, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, of course, if you are watching this. And make sure you send your question in the chat there, because otherwise I will not see it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Perfect. Okay.
And then Alea, do you know Nathan's zodiac sign or date of birth as well, please? So if you do have a person of interest, please put their first name. Please put their zodiac sign as well. Very much appreciate that. Oh, I think I know Miss HJ. Thank you, Holly. Okay. I am going to put that there. So again, if you are on the lottery list, I've got Esha, ER, and Will on our lottery. If I did not call your name, I don't have your question. So make sure you let me know in the chat. Otherwise, we've got our donation list.
And Levity as well. She donated, so but she'll have 2 lottery numbers.
Love T? Okay.
Yeah.
And I just need Love T's question, because I know you pop in and out sometimes. So go ahead and put your question in there, Love T. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
And Holly does know you, apparently. So.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Hi, love. Okay. Welcome in. You get to hang out with me and Kathy today.
Yay.
So first up is
Rachel. Andrea. Yeah.
So we have Andrea, then Simran, then Kalel, Holly, and Kay. Okay.
Perfect.
Let's do it.
Where's our Andrea's question?
There she is. Hope you guys are doing well. We are, Andrea. Thank you, love. Andrea's a Pisces. I was going to ask my usual question, but I guess the beginning message was a sign for me. Oh.
Okay.
See, Kathy and I felt very compelled to talk about this. I just wanted to know a general reading for love life.
Okay. All right. Well, it's interesting, Andrea, because the first thing I really get for you is I do feel that there is this connection that is with you at this moment. Okay. Now this might not be a connection that there's contact or something like that. It does feel like this connection. I'm really bad for remembering people from week to week, so I always go with.
I think Andrea is the connection, the Pisces connection.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
If I'm remembering correctly. Regardless, let's just only connect to the energy that we feel now.
Yeah, because what I'm really getting here is it does feel as though this person, there is this energy that and I don't even know if I even said this last week, but it feels like it's really circling around you. And when I say that, it's like literally like as if you had a cord attached to your inner core, and and the other side of that cord is attached to this person, and it's like they're rotating around you. So it almost seems like they're watching, they're paying attention, they're again, I'm not exactly sure if there's contact or not, but what I do keep getting here, I do feel that there is a contact, but I feel like when I'm seeing this energy, what it's telling me is that you're a stable energy. Okay. Or that for you to become a stable energy within yourself. So you be the anchor for your own core. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. If you imagine yourself with your chakra system, okay, and we go from the crown chakra, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root, and then the soles of the feet. Anchor yourself. Okay. And this is what I feel is like the anchoring of yourself, aligning that chakra system is really going to help, because I do feel that what's happening is the more anchored you are, it's allowing this person. See, right now, okay, this is a weird example, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. Okay. You're here. Okay. But this cord is attached. But as he's turning, you're turning with it. So you guys aren't really anchoring. You're not really stabilizing. It feels as though there's a lot of feeding of some sort of emotions, this mirroring energy that's going back and forth between the two of you. So if you're anxious, let's say he'll be anxious. If he's in a place of being unsure, you're feeling unsure, there's a lot of this mirroring energy that's going on. And I feel like because of the fact that you both are Pisces, it'd be interesting to know what your moon signs are, but it really feels like this empathic connection that's happening between the two of you is really going back and forth. So when you anchor yourself and really start focusing on Andrea, okay? Really focusing on what is Andrea like? What is Andrea, this is Andrea's day, and staying in that present moment, which really helps to ground you. Then what happens is this cord starts going like this, you see? Like that. Instead of you turning with the cord, and the cord is always staying on this outside edge. And so you guys are both just rotating around and around and around. When you stabilize, this cord starts coming towards you. So I hope that makes sense. You're both Taurus moon. Well, that kind of explains some things, right? So, but it really feels as though it's almost as though he's on this edge watching. And what I keep getting is, there are feelings between the two of you, but because these feelings don't have that ability to really stabilize and be in a place of a solid energy, because again, there's a lot of, with both of you, again, Pisces with the Taurus, right? That is huge. You guys are both mirroring and polarizing. It's like this is a polarizing energy. Like I really feel like one of you needs to stop and ground yourself in place. So how do we ground ourselves? I'm going to give you some tips really, really quickly. It's really try to stay in this present moment. If you do, get in that energy where you want to kind of watch them or stalk them a little bit or anything like, pull yourself back and recognize your own energy. I'm telling you, what you will see happening is you will see where he's starting to come closer and closer and closer and closer. Simply because of the fact that you are now like that peg in the ground and you're strong. Okay. And this allows him, because of that energy that you both are carrying and sharing with each other, it allows his strength to come through. Because I do feel, even though let's look at the spiritual energetic level, you are a little higher on that level. He has that same energy, but when somebody doesn't quite recognize exactly what's going on, there's a lot of Pisces people, let's just say, out there. Pisces especially can be very, very psychic. They can be very intuitive. They can be very empathic. But if you, the problem is that because they've got all of these emotions, if they don't know how to ground them or stabilize them, or they don't understand exactly what's going on, maybe they're disbelievers in intuition or whatever it is, they're the ones that are usually like, I can't go into a mall because there's too many people, or I can't go into crowds, or I'm really depressed today and I'm really happy today, or I'm this and today. And, because they don't understand that those energy or those emotions are coming from others rather than from within themselves. So when you stabilize yourself and you recognize and you start really paying attention to your body and your system that's going on at this moment, you will really start to see that energy shift and that energy change within him coming closer to you. So this is what
there's a lot of truth in that, Kathy. Absolutely. In fact, Andrea, when I'm tapped into you, I actually feel that you, and please correct me, confirm or deny if this is true or not, but I'm actually feeling like you are communicating with spirit, God, source, universe. Like, I am being shown that you are projecting a lot outwards, upwards into a higher state, higher energy, whatever you see or feel above yourself. I almost hear you having like these compromises or something of like, please let this happen. If you do, I'll do this, or like something along those lines of like, please let this happen, or please bring this to me, or I know I need this, etc. The one thing that I'm being shown, just as far as the general energy here with your love life, that's the first thing I'm tapping into, is just that general energy. Is you have to be very, very clear in the sensations and the emotions. Don't be specific towards a particular person, but be specific in what you want to experience. For example, I want to experience unconditional love. I want to feel gratitude. I want to bring in mutuality in a relationship. Be specific in the sensation and the emotions and the feelings that you want to experience. Now, the trick here that Kathy and I can teach you is to ask for the feelings that we know is going to be generated by a certain connection, right? Let's just say a random example. If a Pisces and a Pisces want to be drawn together, you would ask for example, we want complete blending and total compassion and empathy to be experienced.
Yes.
That's likely going to happen with a Pisces. That's just their MO. It's their natural form of being. So there are ways around it. You know what I mean? Like, there are ways to sort of be general but specific, but also general still, all wrapped into one. That's why you work with people like us. We help you to kind of single that stuff out. We help you to single those moments out to really help you generate what you feel that you are wanting and looking into. Now, when I specifically ask what is going to be coming up in the love life, what I am shown is they're showing me expansion of a bond with male. So I think we know who we're talking about here.
I think so.
I think it's pretty clear. And you do have to wait for the male's initiation, what they're showing me is that you're going to notice that there are different emotions being unlocked in yourself during this time. And they do show me it as being a direct correlation with your communication with Source, Spirit, God, Universe. It is because of that communication that different emotions are being unlocked in you, also in him as well. So really, I think this communication you have had, keep that up. Be, like we were just talking about, be a little bit specific, but also just go for the specific feeling and the sensation, and don't stay lingered on the one person. You had mentioned, that you kind of soaked in a little bit. Maybe you felt a little called out. I'm sorry, we didn't mean to do that for our talk in the beginning of the show. But as we talked about, we need balance more than we need to singularly focus on just one thing. And so when you change your focus into okay, I want unconditional love, I want to be fully accepted by somebody, I want to be seen and recognized and heard, and feel compassion and have somebody that feels empathy with me, and you focus on those things, you kind of invite that energy to happen to you already. Kathy knows all about the law of attraction, totally can help you single out if you need help with your states of being in that way. But when you do create that, you invite those opportunities to come to you.
And I can tell you,
Oftentimes,
Andrea, like a 1-hour session with me, face to face, we'll have that nailed right down.
yeah,
for
100%,
the law of attraction.
100%.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Brenda, I didn't mean to.
Oftentimes, we see people are so extreme of like, he better not be talking to anybody else. Well, you're just generating that energy for you to not be talked to. You know what I mean? So you just have to be very careful with how you word things and the energy you project out. If you're trying to manifest something, you better know what's in that core, and you better know the emotion that's motivating that. So you're doing a really good job, I think, Andrea, is what Spirit is showing me as far as the confirmation of you talking with them, because they're showing me that they're listening, they're getting your messages,
Yeah.
and now that energy is going to be brought back to you. So keep that symbiotic relationship. Again, Pisces, y'all have that natural connection of just being able to connect with higher energies, higher sources, higher levels of consciousness. So hang on to that. That's really important.
This is also why I feel like the rotating around, right? Simply because it needs to be kind of locked in a little bit, stabilized, grounded, I guess. And so when you're projecting out there and you're living in that, you're living in the end. Live in the end of where it is that you want to be with him, as opposed to where it is right now. So, if you're in this place where, you're watching or you're thinking of him all the time, shift the focus to the end result of what it is that you want to do. Stay in that energy and allow that energy to absorb within you, and you will start seeing that progress coming through. You really will. It really will help. And it's funny, he didn't want to do
See,
it about
this
him,
is
but
the point. This is the point, Andrea. This is the point. You didn't even want to do a reading about him, and he still showed up. All you did was just ask about love life. That's it. And it
Yeah.
still came through. That should be your total validation and proof in the pudding here that you don't just have to singularly focus on that person. Specifically you, we're talking about you, Andrea. This does cover some other people. Sometimes people do need to focus on it because their brains are elsewhere and they have a different way of different relationships with the different parts of their brain. This is specific to you, Andrea. You have a clear validation that all you have to do is just focus on the general energy, and what will be, will be. That's it. That's all you got to do. That relationship you have with Spirit, Source, God, Universe, whatever you label it or name it or however it is, higher self, it's clear it's working. Let it do its thing. Keep that relationship alive. Be fueled. Be loved by that relationship. Feel love. Do not feel worthless. Otherwise, other people are going to see you as worthless. You don't want to attract that energy. You've got this perfect little symbiotic relationship. So focus on that, because obviously something's working here.
Andrea, thank you so much. That is so absolutely sweet of you. We truly appreciate it. And I'm glad that we were able to help.
Big bear hug.
Huge hug. This is, it's interesting. This is why I like so much how we work together, because we'll see the similar, and it's the phrasing that sometimes, or you'll see extra, or I'll see extra, or we'll see this, or we'll see that. And this is how a good team works, and I absolutely love it. And
Great.
Next is Simran.
All right. Simran, I would like to know, I do see SJ there. Okay, perfect. I would like to know future actions of Libra towards me, and will he contact me? He's my ex, and we had a big fallout the other day. He blocked me on everything, and I've been pretty heartbroken ever since. I'm a Pisces, and he is a Libra. Oh, his name is Brandon. And Simran is Pisces. Okay.
Okay, I do believe, I think that she may have added something else to that as well. I thought I could be wrong, but I thought I saw.
I did see a few withheld messages as well, retracted messages. So.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's just go into that. Okay, so I feel like Simran, oh no, that was all. Okay, it might have been somebody else's retracted message. Okay, I wasn't sure. Sorry. Okay, so the energy that I'm getting right away, and sometimes, if you don't mind confirming down into the chat, that would be great as well. It does feel as though I feel this energy of frustration from you. I feel this energy of maybe perhaps wanting more from this relationship. I almost feel like a withholding in some way from him, or it feels as though maybe perhaps there was like a back and forth type of energy, because this energy is kind of coming in and coming out, coming in and coming out. So I don't know if this was in the physical sense, or if this was in, is what I'm picking up on a spiritual sense. So right now he has you blocked, and here is what I keep feeling. Yeah, and it was in and out, and this is frustrating, and especially again going into that Pisces energy, is that you're feeling so much deeper of his energy than what he is maybe perhaps revealing, and that can be sometimes difficult, simply because of the fact that when you're unconsciously or consciously tapping into his energy, you're feeling like he could do so much more. He could do so much, give so much more, or be so much more, or come towards you in such a stronger way. And instead it's like flip flop, flip flop, flip flop, like a fish, and that can be very frustrating, especially again being in that Pisces energy of being able to dig deep into his core self, and exactly what it is that he can present to you, and you're not seeing it. And that's just the energy that's being presented to me at this moment. So what I'm getting with Brandon here, not you, Mr. Brandon. You just,
oh, darn it.
He is in a state of confusion. I do feel that he is. And I mean, I apologize to any Libras out there, but it can be very hard sometimes for you guys to make your decisions. So I do feel that being projected onto you, Simran, right? Like I do feel that energy. How his energy is, I do feel that he has this. I feel that he feels very drawn to you. And I feel like this may have something to do with that in and out energy. Is he ready to make a full commitment? I feel like that's where that energy seems to land. And it almost feels as though he's in this place of, do I want to make a commitment, or do I want to do, these other things? And it almost feels as though he's kind of putting a barrier on, if I have a commitment, I can't do these things. And this could have to do with life or career or travel or, I don't know, fishing, whatever it has to do with, right? Like it just feels like if I'm in a commitment, I can't do this, but I really want this commitment. And which is why he keeps getting drawn to you, because again, that in and out type of energy. So I feel like he needs to miss you. This is going to be the bottom line type of advice that's coming. I do feel like he needs to miss you. Now, him blocking you on social media, what I'm also seeing here is in and out, in and out, in and out. I feel like he may unblock and come back and do some of his own personal stalking or his watching or looking at you or whatever it is to kind of see where you are. And then he might turn around and maybe block that energy again. I don't know if he's going to contact right away. Now, here's the thing. I don't feel this being a long session of this blocking energy. Okay. It is going to be extremely important, however, that you do not try to contact, don't try to find a way to contact. This is a time to really focus in, very similar to what we felt with Andrea. Focus in on you. This is going to be very, very important. I almost am going to recommend to you, I don't know why I'm getting this, but don't post sad things on social media. Don't post things that are like, oh, men suck or whatever it is. Keep things very, very positive and keep things in a place of, I do not give a crap. If I ever talk to this man again, I'm going to post happy stuff about me, because again, I kept feeling this energy of him maybe unblocking or taking a look or maybe having another account where he's sort of watching and making sure, seeing where Simran is. But if you have that energy there of, all men suck and I'm so sad, he's going to close that down, and because he doesn't want to be in that energy. And this is a huge mistake that a lot of people in general make, is like they have a falling out or they break up with somebody and they'll post these negative things thinking it's going to draw people back, but it's not. It's actually going to do the opposite. It actually changes that energy and pushes it away. And this is what I keep feeling through you, because it's almost like he's going to unblock and take a peek, look around, and then take a step back. I don't feel like this is going to be for a long period of time. I do feel possibly maybe a couple of weeks to a month. And this is why also when you're posting that happy stuff, you're also changing your energy. You want a solid connection with this man. You don't want that in and out crap. You want him to make a decision, and you want him to be in this place of, I know that you are somebody that I want to continue this path with, at least for this point in time. Like, I want to put my energy towards you. I want to build a relationship. I want this. And so take this as an opportunity to really focus in on you. There's a guy on YouTube here. His name is believe All Star Tarot, I believe. He's really good at explaining a lot of this energy. And you can check him out. I believe that's his name. I'm pretty sure it is. But when you get into that energy, you're going to really see that change. He's going to unblock you. He's going to start coming forward. He was talking to someone, but never told me. Then I found out and told the girl. He still calls me all the time after that. He blocked me because he thinks it's my fault and I did wrong by telling her. I don't think it was 100% wrong by telling her, especially if you guys know of each other or you guys are, friends or something like that. But I do feel, I felt he should have told me. He was absolutely. I feel like he should have too. If somebody's inflicting on your energy, okay, I do believe that there needs to be honesty and fairness. Now, if you're not in a relationship, that's where it does get tricky, right? If you're not in a relationship, somebody's free to talk to really whoever, they wish to talk to. However, you know, that's where our own personal boundaries have to come in. So if you had said to him, am I talking, you know, are you talking to somebody else? Is there somebody else that you have an interest in? And he said no, and then you found out that there was, that's a little bit of conflict of interest, right? That's where he's being a liar. That's where he's not being honest, and that you would have to put up boundaries for that honesty. When somebody is, you know, if you haven't had that conversation, and then, you know, again, it still has to come to do with boundaries, right? It has to come with our own personal boundaries. Yeah. See, and if he said no, and then he found out later it was true. And that's where again, you know, if you should be able to confront somebody. Confronting and saying, look, this is not cool. I have my boundaries. You go figure it out. You go figure out you. You'll be lucky if I'm here when you get back, right? So, but I do feel he does have to figure this out. And so in the meantime, really concentrate on you, concentrate on what it is that you want. Focus in on, you know, the centering of yourself as well, and work on those boundaries of within yourself, right? And I do feel that unblocking happening, and I do feel that he's going to be really watching. So I'm going to say a couple weeks to maybe a month before he comes back. Okay. It could be sooner, could be a little bit later, but I do feel that energy opening up again. But when he does come back, you set those boundaries very straight.
Yeah, that's going to be really important also based on what I'm picking up.
And no, don't wish him a happy birthday on Sunday, because if he's blocked you on other ways or whatever it is, absolutely not. Don't. No. You know what? Don't place your time towards him. Because sometimes we want to do that simply so that we get a response. And I feel like right now he's got to earn that energy from you. He has to earn that energy from you. And he hasn't earned it when he's talking to somebody else, and when he's, you know, put up his barriers, right? So he's put up the barriers, so you don't want to intrude in on the barriers at this point. That's what I feel. Let him lower those barriers and come to you.
Okay. So Simran, have we talked before, love? You don't need to say where, but I swear we've talked. Because your energy is super familiar to me. So right away, the energy between the two of you, of course, you know, just confirming here what Spirit shows me is that communication is deadened right now. It seems to be like widening. It seems to be quite distant at this time. When I'm looking at Brandon's feelings, his thoughts towards you, immediately what I'm shown is that he has taken all of this personally, as if you did him wrong.
Right? Yeah. 100%.
It's like, he's like, oh, my heart is broken because you betrayed me and you did this. And I mean, come on. Me, you, and every listener on here knows that that is so not the case. I mean, but it's that little ego. It's totally getting bruised. It's totally getting beat up right now. And he is taking it personal, and he is upset, and he feels like you have betrayed him and you have hurt him. So he's going to pull himself away. He's going to cut himself off to punish you because you did him wrong. You need to be very careful with this energy right now, Simran.
Yeah.
You need to be very careful, because his intention right now is very self-serving, very self-focused. And this, you have to be very careful, because this can so easily be a huge drain on you. Huge drain on you. That's exactly what he said, which I couldn't believe. Yeah, see, I told you. It's like, I bet you everybody here that's listening and not just waiting for their reading and to hear their name right now, and that heard it, gonna be like, no, that's manipulative. Yeah, that's not okay.
It's very manipulative, and that's the way that they tend to, you know. But I also feel that energy opening, right? Like it coming, like peeking in, like, oh, you did me wrong, but I'm gonna watch you. I'm gonna see if you're suffering, if you're, or poor woe is me, you know, and that's where you do not want to have that energy going, right? You don't want him, because he's going to unblock you. I'm telling you, he's going to block you and start watching.
It is coming.
Yeah. And if you're in a place of like boo-hoo or men suck or whatever it is, you want to post the happiest freaking crap out there, that you can, because you don't want him to be in this place of good. I am glad I affected her. I'm glad I made her cry. I'm glad I made, because she did me wrong. Sorry, Brandon, go on. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I've been cut off all day today, so I'm used to it.
I'm just going to keep doing it, and then I'm going to start singing.
It's just that kind of day. It's just
Yeah.
that kind of day. This totally happens to me every once in a while. He's definitely playing the victim. Like you said, it's manipulative. You see it, it's clear. But the biggest indicator for you, Simran, is that he's coming from ego right now. He's not coming from a sense of mutuality. He's not coming from equality, equity. He's coming from this place of ego, self-focus, self-absorption. What is mine? This is mine. I need this, So that's never going to equal balance in any kind of relationship, no sense of harmony, etc. But he is going to come back. Kathy is very well at that. She's picking up on the exact same energy that I am also picking up on, which is all of a sudden you're going to finally feel okay and, balance your emotions. And then boom, here he comes. Like, I'm going to come in and save the day. And trust me, that's going to be a moment where it's going to put you into confusion. Like, oh, is he coming into my life now because things are actually good? Or what's going to happen? So again, Kathy's advice is very solid here of putting up very specific boundaries. You've got to vibrate higher than he can even get to right now. Because if he wants to be with you, he's going to come up to that level with you. He's going to try to get himself up there. He's going to be like, oh my gosh, I need to be here. It's like going to the VIP section of the party that everyone is invited to. I want to be in the VIP section. Okay, well, I already got my invite, so go figure out how to get your own and meet me here. We need to be on the same level.
I love that explanation. Oh my God.
It's very clear that this could be a big energy drain for you, Simran. So just put those boundaries up, because you don't want to keep giving more into this, because he is just going to regularly take. It's just how he is. He's not vibrating on that same level. I've connected with this before. I remember there was a celebrity client who asked about this. And they're like, does a Pisces and a Libra, can they ever work? And, my immediate sense was no, it never can work, because a Pisces lives in the Pacific Ocean and in all the subtle layers that the ocean has to offer, blended with every creature and being that's out there. And Libra just lives on like hot methane. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But really though, Libras are like hot air, It's such a great description of their energy. Yeah. And those two things never really meet. They're on totally different levels. Hot air does its own good things. Water does its own good things. And both can be negative in the same breath, but they don't often meet. But what it does force is if both people are willing to go beyond their comfort zones and to integrate and try to be the other person, step into their shoes, something absolutely magical happens. They go out of the confines of their physical reality and body, and they meet on this plane where they're able to see one another at like this beautiful soul level. If that can be achieved, you got to get over the ego. You got to get all the other stuff. So it is possible. I'm not saying that it's not, but it is very difficult for Pisces and Libra naturally to connect. So you probably have seen all sorts of fluctuations between you and Brandon here. So just keep your boundaries. That's super, super important right now. He's got to be able to earn that position back with you, because he's throwing it all on you and projecting on you as if you're the issue, but it's not. It's really not. I hope we've confirmed that for you. And hope you walk away with some solid energy here of how to approach this, because he will be back. You got to take care of yourself first.
Absolutely. And, try to completely remove your energy again from him at this time, if you can. And, or bubble yourself, bubble yourself in your own energy and really work on what's coming through, and allow yourself to work through those emotions, work through, as you're saying here, your own spiritual journey, because that will help.
Woo, woo. Yeah. Good job on that journey, babe. You got this.
You do have this. And I do. I feel the more that you do that, you'll see that progression. And exactly like Brandon said, like So I'm glad. God bless you too. I'm so glad that you joined us today. Thank you so
You're
much.
still not alone, Simran. I mean, listen, all the other listeners who we got Kalel at Mex, everybody has been going through these really intense dreams and like intense emotions, intense stuff in the subconscious. And I really think we had the full moon in Pisces, but then it was like at the end of Pisces and went right into Aries. And it's like Pisces, this beautiful, accepting, compassionate, empathetic sign, into Aries. I'm fucking here and I'm loud and look at me. It's like a total 180, 360. A lot of the people that I've met who have the cusp sign of Aries to Pisces, they embody so many different extremes in themselves. I've actually seen a lot of drag queens who have that placement of Pisces to Aries. What is that? What did I just say? What's the word?
Cusp.
Cusp. Thank you. Good Lord. It's so interesting, and it can be such an intense blow for many people, and we've all felt some form of it, those of us that are more sensitive to subtler energies like that. So just know that you're not alone. The intensity of things is being felt, but this next moon cycle, oof, I hope you let go of what you needed to, and then on the new moon in like 12, 13 days, plant some solid seeds, plant whatever you want to see over this next year. This is the time to do it. This is the time to do it. Kathy and I will remind you on the next show. Don't worry.
You betcha. All right. Thank you so much, Simran. I truly appreciate it. Kalal is next.
Hello. Are you with us, mates? Hello. And then we've got Holly and we've got Kay. Just want to make sure everybody's here. Again, if you are just joining us, again, if you're over on Facebook, I Want to Believe, pop on over to Oracle Intuitions YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and throw in your question in the chat. Be glad to put you in our lottery. We've got 5 entries currently. We've got room for more, so come on in. If you're waiting in the lottery list and you want a guaranteed reading, you still can donate. Follow the description in the scroll or in the info box, and we'll be glad to throw you up on that list. All right, Kalel, thank you. So Kalel, January, Capricorn. Capricorn Sun, Leo Moon. Hey, Leo Moon friend. Aquarius Rising. What does my spirit guides want me to know right now?
I have a weird question for you. Are you planning a trip? I keep hearing something about a journey. Like, I almost kind of wonder if this is an actual trip. Like, you're going somewhere. Is this a journey? You know, so I want to kind of just find that out first, because if it's not with that, it will have to do with a more spiritual journey. I just keep hearing the word journey. Like, I'm actually, like, it's almost like the band. Weird enough, but it's, you know, journey. And I'm like, don't stop believing.
I know I want to sing, but I don't want the video to be taken down.
Right. I'm really
up
copyright. Don't stop believing. And it feels as though it's really interesting coming through here. This is an interesting energy, and this is exactly what I'm hearing. None that I know of. Okay, so we're going to go, because I just wanted to make sure that there was a not a trip. You know what I mean? Because all right. Anyway, I'm going to just get into this because I feel like your guides are really wanting to talk here. So what they're telling me is that your conscious and your subconscious parts are at this point kind of a bit divided. Your conscious energy is, or this, your conscious energy is in a place of, I want to say, like flying high. Okay. It feels as though you're up here, you're having really good thoughts. Like, you're in this place of believing, wanting to move forward, create this journey. Is there somebody that you've met? Is there somebody that you might have met, or maybe a new person coming through? Because I do feel this energy of another person that's maybe joining you. It might not be at this particular time, especially if you're not, you know, feeling it at this moment, or this hasn't exactly happened, but I feel like something is trying to come through for you, like an actual, this could be a relationship that's coming through. But I'm also getting here is that there's a bit of disbelief underneath your energy. Okay. And I keep getting, so the separation between the conscious and the subconscious. And what your guides are saying here is that they want you to focus in on the part that is feeling free, happy, confident within yourself, and really focusing in on that journey, that going forward type of journey. They're I kind of want to say that they're sort of chastising you in regards to the part that's being pulled into the more negative side, because they're telling me that they have given you some sort of signs. Now, I'm not exactly sure what those signs are, but I feel like you know exactly what they are, okay? Or that you have been shown. Now, it almost feels like something was put in front of you in some way. Now, this could be, TV, an ad, billboard, license plate. I don't know exactly what it is, but it shows that there have been signs, or that you've asked questions, possibly, whether you've spoken them out loud, or whether have been wondering about something, and they keep telling me the signs are there and to have the belief behind it. I do feel that somebody is trying to come through in a relationship type of way. I am hearing November. Okay. I am hearing October into early November for some reason. I don't feel that you've missed it. I feel that there's an energy of you, again, disassociating with your conscious to subconscious. It's like there's this energy that of moving forward, of allowing yourself to have that belief of things that you're trying to create, of trying to I'm literally getting the Magician card, and I want to say manifestation. Okay. So I feel like there's things that you're manifesting, trying to manifest, trying to create. But again, there's a bit of disbelief under there. So however your guides come in to show you those signs, I feel like they're like, pay attention. Pay attention. I'm literally getting pass here, the word pass. So it feels like it's like they show you a direction of some sort. I'm not exactly sure what this is talking about. Maybe you know what this is meaning, but I keep getting told something about a direction, heading a direction. And they even maybe possibly have laid something out in regards to that direction, like some sort of sign, some sort of symbol, some sort of something to show you some sort of direction towards where you're supposed to be heading. I just keep feeling now is definitely don't have the doubt within yourself. Don't have your doubt within the manifestations. They really are asking you to stay in a place of clarity towards what it is that you are trying to manifest at this time. I am getting a bit of energy, like I said, self-doubt. Okay. And this can, I feel, sometimes bring you into a lower place or a lower energy. And it may be harder for you to come up afterwards. So I'm also hearing that you have a very active mind. Like your mind is like all the time. Try not to overthink things. Okay. Especially with that Aquarius rising. As an Aquarius, we can overthink a lot. Try not to try not to place your mind into the overthinking. Try to stay confident again in your manifestations. So, Brandon, what are you getting here?
Yeah, picking up on some really important things here, Kathy. So I hope I can explain as well what I'm picking up, maybe kind of tie a bow on this. Cloud, there's a very clear drain on your energy right now. It's super, super clear. And it's exactly what Kathy was detailing here, is that there's something going on as far as the internal mind process. So the way Spirit shows it to me is that you have a very clear a goal, a destination, somewhere you want to be, or a way that you want to be, and it's in mind, but it's far away, which is perfect for a Capricorn. Because Capricorns, they just operate with good goal orientation. You know, when they can see something they want to go after, they're like, okay, that's where I'm going for. I will work to get it. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to work to get it. What Spirit keeps showing me is that you're cutting off certain parts that seem unrelated to your goal, but are actually directly tied to the path to get there. And so it's like you're forgetting the smaller, little, subtler parts. So what? You might have to go to some kind of party where everybody's acting superficial and, you know, they don't even seem to be interested in whatever you're going afterwards. Trust me, if you get the invite and your goal is still in your focus, you need to go to those little things, even if they are surface level, even if they seem like they might be meaningless. If you've got that goal pretty secured in your mind and your unconscious, you know, if you got a vision board, whatever it is, take all those other little steps because they add up to the big picture. It doesn't need to be all big moves at once. It does not have to be. Take it from a Taurus who knows that little steps will get you to your destination. And honestly, as a Taurus, you should also learn the lesson from us that sometimes it's important to smell the roses. I get it, Capricorn, you want your goal. I got you. I get it. I got Capricorn rising with 3 planets in Capricorn right on my ascendant. So I know that energy very, very well. But sometimes you really do got to take those little other smaller, subtler steps. Why this is important. What I feel your guys are trying to communicate to me is that it's going to clear out the confusion that has been lingering on you like a cloud in your mind. And that's where Kathy was talking about that sort of split and things not being clear or being confused. And when I look at you and I look at your energy, it's like literally I see this cloud covering this part of your mind and your vision, and you're like trying to walk through and you really can't see anything and you're kind of feeling around. And so what they're telling me is that in order to clear the confusion, you must find that sense of personal security. And what better way to do that than small little steps? That's going to be the absolute best way I feel to do it. So you're coming to a place where you are about to kind of align those different parts of yourself, the different parts of the mind. But at the end of the day, let us not forget that the mind is not who we are. The mind is a tool. The brain is a computer. It can be programmed. It can be programmed by yourself, by other people. It is a tool. Who we are, the closest thing to who we are is that heart right there. Don't let the brain dictate what in the world happens to your life because it's not who you really are. Whew. Interesting place, Kalal. I also need to highlight you're very advanced and connected to multiple layers of reality here. Okay?
You know what? It's so interesting because just before you were saying that, I actually had this image of him where it's almost as though, and don't laugh at me, Kalal, because I feel
now you're setting me up to laugh.
I almost feel as though it's like you're almost an advanced being.
It feels that way, doesn't it? That very Aquarian, Capricorn merge, like some Syrian starseed from Andromeda, whatever. Like
there's an advanced energy, like an advanced
that's
being.
what it feels like.
And the problem is that being earthbound in that advanced body, or that advanced soul with
soul,
an earth
the body is not,
the advanced soul to the earth body, it can get very confusing and it can get very,
trust me, we know,
and so and also with the Capricorn Aquarius energy, you try to make logic of things that cannot be logical. And so when you have that energy that is going on, I really do feel like maybe some sort of meditation, yoga, something like this, it might help. Like, again, there's a lot of, we're really talking about grounding energy this week, because I feel like, and it may have to do with that Aquarius moon, but I do feel that we're all sort of floating and we need to sort of anchor ourselves. But it feels as though you're this advanced soul, this advanced energy. And so, maybe stop trying to make logic out of it. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I heard this in my brain, but it's not the truth, obviously. But I think it's something with the soul and ego. It's like, oh, I feel punished for having to have to come here, but it's not a punishment. It's not a punishment. Yeah. It's like a step in your repertoire, in your tool belt for what your consciousness is doing. And it's
interesting entirety. Is his name, is really from Superman. And I find that,
is it?
Well, Kal-El, right? Kal-El was Superman's, original name. And,
oh, I did not know that.
And so, when you think about it, I mean, where is he from? And it literally just kind of clicked in my head here. And I mean, he was from this advanced planet, from this advanced place,
superhuman, kind of not even human,
into this, humanized body,
mm-hmm.
and try, and so
how appropriate.
That's exactly how I feel. And yes, it reflects you and your being a lot. Like, it's 100%. And so I feel like stop, it's like, you don't need to be, okay, when I say this, you don't need to always be on the human plane. You don't always need to make sense of it. You don't always need to find justification in it. Go with where it is that you're being drawn to go, because I keep feeling like your guides are telling you to go on this journey. Okay.
And don't be afraid to enjoy the journey. There are some beautiful pleasures here on Earth, things that are just incredible that you can't really see anywhere else. Don't be afraid to enjoy those moments. It's not all work.
Exactly. So, in that extent, like, your name 100% suits you.
I love it. Oh, I love it. I want to read your book, Kal-El. I want to read that book.
I truly hope that helps, and maybe, and don't focus on the, when will this happen? Focus on this is happening, and I'm going to enjoy it, absorb it. And like Brandon said, enjoy this journey, because when you're in that place, that's when those, if you're not seeing those signs from your guides now, you will start seeing them. I'm literally seeing, it's interesting, I'm actually literally seeing coins, like, or birds almost. I don't know why I'm seeing both, because they could be coming through, in both ways, but it's almost like a lineup showing you, like, if you were in this place of taking a path, it's like you see these coins, or even, and I'm also seeing like little birds, showing you a path, and it's like, I got to go this way. I know which path I'm taking, but again, enjoy it. So, hey, Cliff, how you doing? So I hope that helps. We're going to move on to Holly. I truly hope that gave you some clarity.
Thank you, Kal-El. We've got Holly up next. Then we've got Kay. And then let's just do a little roll call. Holly, make sure you're here. Kay, you still here with us, love? And our lottery people, we've got Esha, ER, Alea or Elena? I feel like it's Alea from what she had written. And then Will, of course, if you're still here, Will, and Love Tea. So if I did not call your name, I do not have your question. So if you did want to get on one of our lists, please go ahead and go to Oracle Intuition's YouTube page, hit subscribe, and shoot me a message in the comments, and I will gladly put you on our list.
Yay. Okay, so Holly is here.
All right, ready?
You bet.
All right, so we've got Holly, Scorpio, and The person of interest, Virgo. Okay, so my boyfriend of many years abruptly broke up with me last November after having a midlife crisis, breakdown, PTSD following his mother's death. He cut me off completely. I'm curious if there is a possibility of reconciliation.
Okay. So you guys haven't spoken since then. For whatever reason, I'm really getting this person's having a really hard time with their own emotions, their energy. I feel like you might not be the only person that they cut off from. Like it really feels like a hermit energy that is going on with them at this moment. I don't know the closeness of this mother, because I'm not tapping into, her energy or their energy. I'm just tapping into, he cut himself off from everyone. I feel like this death really affected him hard. I'm also getting here something about, I don't feel like this was the only death that he's been dealing with. Okay. That it doesn't need to be recent deaths, but it feels like there's past deaths that are somehow affecting him as well. And maybe his mother's death, or maybe just throughout, this whole shitty year, everything is kind of weighing on him. So it's not just the death. It just feels like, Holly, I'm going to actually say that and I'm not giving a health reading. I'm just going by the energy that I'm being shown, because I'm shown it's very chaotic in his mind. Infantry buddies while in Afghan that have affected him. Okay. Yeah. Cause I'm really getting here, like he's got some, I want to say possible PTSD, some sort of other mental health issues that need taken care of. I'm not saying that you have to take care of him or anything like that. I don't want to put that out there. But I'm really getting a sense of fog and confusion when I tap into his energy. And it's like that survivor guilt. The survivor guilt is really coming through. Holly, the hard thing is I'm going to be very, very upfront and truthful about this. Like this is just, I'm going to just lay it out straight for you. Will contact happen? I believe it will. Okay. But here's where you're going to have to be very, very cautious. This is not your job to fix this man. It's not your job to fix this man. And that's something that you really, really have to think about. Okay. And a lot of times people will get involved or emotionally attached to people that do have, these issues that need to be clinically taken care of. And I do feel that staying connected to this man, just to be straight up, is always going to be a battle, sweetie. I really, really feel like it's always going to be, can you guys be together? Can he contact? I do feel contact, but it may not be for about 6 more months. Like this not going to be tomorrow, or he's got a lot of issues that I feel that he's dealing with. I really feel him in a dark place, but unfortunately there's not much that you can do about it. I'm not going to say that he's suicidal or anything like that, because I do not get that energy. This is something that he may have actually battled throughout the years, like up and down type of energy. And but it is something that this is not going to be the last time. This is not going to be the last time where he goes into this deep, dark hole or this deep, dark place. And I know that we, especially as the feminine energy, you don't need to be female, but the feminine energy, we want to help, we want to fix, we want to cure, we want to, and especially with that Scorpio energy. Okay. That Scorpio energy that you have is very much the healing warrior energy. But unfortunately, it can sometimes it can affect you, because Scorpios on their own are very intuitive, very empathic. They're very psychic. They can, get into the deep, dark underbelly of human nature, more so than almost any other sign. So when you start diving into that deep, dark underbelly, you're seeing the shit. It's that that even sometimes a psychic can't see, because of the fact that you are, this is your natural state, this is your natural tendency to dig down there, and you automatically see it, and you're shown it, and you feel it, and you absorb it. And that's where that problem comes in. And so what happens is that when you attach yourself or want to be the healer or the fixer of this energy, what it can do is it can literally drag you into a place that is going to be very, very difficult to come out of. It can be very difficult for you to find, again, your own self and your own path. We did see that, Levity. Yes, we got that. Thank you so very much. We'll add you to the list. But so this is something that I think you're going to have time to really think about, because while I do feel that contact happening, the interesting thing is I do feel an energy of the victim mentality going on with him too. So when he does reach out, it may be in the, just to see where you are energetically, but there may be a bit of victim mentality in there, meaning that a little bit of poor woe was me type of behavior, that sort of thing. But I feel like, first of all, you need to be in a stronger place, in order to if you decide that you do want something with this man, you're going to have to be in a very, very strong emotional, spiritual, and mental place with it. And again, going back into the boundaries, like we had with a couple of the people on here, your boundaries need to be solid with this man. Does he still love and care? I feel that right now, the caring for you, yes, I'm going to say that there is a love there, but I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like right now he's in such a deep, dark place that he's not, if he was to think of you, okay, if you come to his mind, he does feel that caring, warm connection that he has for you. But he's so inner focused on his own darkness, his own sadness, his own reliving his own memories, all of this stuff, that I don't feel that he's thinking really of anybody or anything except for himself at this moment. He's so entwined. So, when he does come out of that, like a gopher popping his head up and maybe looking around, when you come to mind, yes, there are very good, feelings towards you. But I also do get the image or the energy here that he also knows that he doesn't want to, I do get the energy, and I'm literally hearing, this could be literally from his soul or from his energy that I'm hearing this. He also doesn't want to inflict that upon anybody within him, like his darkness. He doesn't want to inflict his darkness. So it could take him a while to come through this. So I just want to give you that warning. Okay. Brandon, I'm going to turn it over to you. And while I actually really have to run to the bathroom. Sorry, I'm drinking
Okay.
water. So I apologize, but I'll
I
be right
was
back.
just typing in the chat, everyone. Um, Random psychic impression. Is anybody eating Twizzlers right now? I know that's so weird, but I swear I just like got this like psychic impression of Twizzlers and I have no idea where it came from. So I just wanted to see if there's anybody here. Okay, hey Holly. Hey, what's up, love? Okay. So tapping into the energy here with you and Guy, Mr. Virgo. Not K. Okay. I don't know where it came from. I'm sorry. So with you and Mr. Virgo here, so we do feel a dichotomy. You know, there does feel like this energy of him unlocking and opening up. And as soon as that happens, it's an immediate shutdown and total clamp down, sense of repression. So we've got a little bit of a paradox here. We got a little bit of a dichotomy of energy, which in and of itself is balanced. But unfortunately, these things are coming at odds with each other. And that point of friction is an internal thing that's happening within himself, of course. When I look at his feelings, his thoughts towards you, Holly, I do feel the emotional bond. I do feel the emotional care, but I absolutely feel that instability in himself right now, just as Kathy was saying. I think she detailed everything pretty clear. So I don't want to go too much into that, but what I do want to focus on is what I am shown is coming right now. Spirit does show me as far as your connection, they show me the bond that exists, but they're showing me it kind of being like even keel right now, which you already know. And they do show me that this does happen over a few months. So this isn't anything I would expect tomorrow or next month or anything like that. You really have to let this even keel just do its thing. This is a process that he really has to confront and figure out on his own, because once he finally takes that step, when I ask Spirit, you know, what's going to be the connection? What's going to happen in the future between you both? Will it be that relationship? And what they show me is that out of the friction, out of the adversity and the challenge comes the sunlight, full transparency, full stepping into just literal light between the both of you, and everything else becomes incredibly clear. I also want to detail what you were talking about before, and you're like, oh my gosh, all those Scorpio things, you know, that's exactly it. And it's horrible. It's not horrible. Scorpios are fucking awesome. Scorpios are awesome. They get to see, think of Scorpio. Okay, we're about to enter fall. Well, we're in fall. And all the leaves on the trees die. And what they do is they create this little layer between the earth and all the things that are dead on top of it. And it looks gross and icky and slimy and stinks like crap and rotten grossness. It is that exact layer that allows life to come back up in the springtime. It protects it. It knows its value. It knows what's worthy. It knows what to protect. Scorpio is so important and vital. It is like the not just the sexual organs. It's like all that pubic area in the body where it deciphers, okay, this nutrient, I need this, and this one is bad, so we got to throw this one out and dispose of it over here. Scorpio is such an important energy. It might look gross to a lot of people, and it might be really intense to a lot of people connecting with Scorpio, but my God, are they vital? My God, are they important? Because without them, we would not be able to continue. We would not be able to resurface, to re-emerge. And that's exactly what Mr. Virgo is going to be doing here, re-emerging. And of course, you're going to be there to, hello, welcome back. Welcome back. Here we go. That's part of your path. You know, his is that Virgo. He's got to learn to assimilate and separate. He's got to figure out how to make that mind not go into overdrive, because the more that he suppresses and represses, the more it's just going to do that anyways. So this is his part of his journey in figuring out, okay, I need to not do that anymore, because obviously once one thing happens, it just throws everything off completely. So he losing a parent is very sad for a lot of people, for most people. But it shouldn't be anything that's completely debilitating, because we should be an adult at this point. We should be at this point accepting that, okay, you know, they are going to pass someday, and I know I got to be okay with that. And I got to keep going because I got kids and I got other responsibilities that I got to take care of. So, you know, to be so completely destructed by that obviously shows us, that there was much more going on underneath that surface than he was even aware of. So he's got to confront all this. He's got to assimilate it on his own. Let him take that space right now. But I remember looking at the energy here. It feels towards the end of this year when there's like this reintroduction into contact and communication, but I just don't feel things happening until the beginning of next year. As far as actual movement between the two of you. I also am still seeing, I think we talked about this before, but I'm still seeing this divine, kind of freak moment, freak accident of like, oh my gosh, we just run into each other and boom. I wasn't expecting that. I still feel that energy like really popping up. So I think you can expect that as well, but you gotta be patient right now. And I know you have nothing but unconditional acceptance here with him. So that is genuine love, I think. So hold on to that vibration.
What is his age anyway? Did she say?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Did it say? No, she just said Virgo birthday. He is 4 years older than she.
Okay. Cool. Right. Okay. So I hope that that's helped. Holly, I really do. I hope that gave you some sort of clarity. Again, really protect your energy, with him. Just simply because you do have the ability, to really head down that list, or down that rabbit hole, and you definitely do not want to do that. Okay, so all right. Oh, he's 55. Okay, yeah.
No rabbit holes.
Yeah.
You can't get lost in it. Don't do it. That's not worth it. Okay. Yeah. Our K is up next.
You betcha.
And then our love T. Let's make sure everybody's here. K. Oh, we're glad you showed up, Holly. Thank you. And I will check my emails once we're off the show, obviously.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay, here we go. So what is going to happen with my living situation? I was told I'll be moving in October, but I'm not sure if that's true. Will I be moving out of my friend's house and into a family member's?
I'm feeling a resistance here, Kay, and I'm not sure which side this is coming from. Like, I'm not sure if you're resisting moving to the family members or if you're resisting, staying where you are. But it feels like a kind of a hold in moving forward for some reason. So it could be a resistance of moving into a family member's, but I'm just looking into the energy. I really feel like is there a some sort of energy where you are where that's not comfortable? I feel resistant moving upstairs. Okay. So is the upstairs, is that the family member, or is that where you are, or like the staying with a friend? Okay. I just feel like there's this energy of your friend. Okay. I keep hearing that if you want to move, the energy could be there for you to move. I'm really getting some sort of resistance in this. I don't know if something else will be offered in October that I'll move to. Okay. I'm feeling very stuck energy, which is, I feel like this is your current energy where you're feeling stuck for some reason. Have you been looking for other options, like making those attempts towards other options? Because I feel like this is going to be super important too. Like, I don't know if you're looking for apartments or places or whatever it is. Yeah, extremely stuck and depressed, because I'm literally seeing you like just staying like stagnant energy, right? I feel like you have to really put that intention out there. I mean, October is coming up, right? So your father would offer.
Oh, that's weird.
Okay, but were you feeling that? I feel like you
That's
reached
super
out
weird.
to
That's super
him
weird.
or explained the situation to him, because it feels like there's an energy of possibly going or moving or moving ahead, because I'm literally like, it just feels like such stuck energy right now, that I almost feel like you have to do something to circulate that energy, to get that energy flowing so that that offer could come in. Have you spoken with them or with your father? Oh, okay, you asked 2 months ago and he said no. I don't feel that this is, if you were to move into his house, I don't feel like that is going to be a permanent solution for you. I do feel, um, you may have to really start looking. Did you hear that noise, Brandon? I literally heard this coming through, and it wasn't from me.
That's
Oh,
my house.
okay. I was wondering. Okay. Um, like, it would be a very temporary energy. I almost feel, Kayla, like you would be happier in another place. Like, start looking for something that is going to be for you. Even if it's, not as nice of a place, or maybe you're going to have to downgrade, or something along that line. Um, I do feel a resistance coming in from your dad. I'm not sure what that energy or that, relationship that you guys have together. Is he in another relationship? Is this like, is he with somebody? Is that where that resistance is coming in? Because it almost feels as though this isn't just him that is saying no to this. Like, it could be coming in from something else, or so, even if he's, I feel like some sort of fear, around him doing that. I know I sound very kind of wishy-washy on this, and I don't mean to. It's just that this energy that you're in, oh, he is in a relationship. Because I don't feel like this is coming completely from him. It almost feels like this is something else, or somebody else that is putting a kibosh on you sort of moving in with him, or giving the negative aspects that it could be. I do feel that he wants to offer that, but I do feel a lot of resistance. I almost feel like you need to almost save your money, or save, towards moving in. So if it's not October, it may be November. Like, really start, putting those feelers out there, because I feel like you would be in a better place where you're not feeling either in the stagnant energy, or feeling like you have to really start looking for something immediately and right away. Like, you want to make something yours, your home, your place, your whatever this is. And that's really the energy that I keep coming through. So I don't know if Brandon's picking up. Working 80 hours a week to get by. Wow. That's tough.
I think we've all been there at some point.
Yeah.
It's just a difficult position to be in. But I will say, when I'm looking at, I'm looking first at the energy of just your whole living situation. And of course, they show me that everything is up in the air right now. It feels like you have no idea which way to go. You're probably extending yourself out, looking, asking all sorts of different directions. I see massive or multiple communications that are coming out from you. When I ask specifically about you living with family, what I am shown is that living with family is really going to take its toll on you. With other family members, it's really going to eat away at whatever bonds that you do have with them. So it's interesting, I'm asking Spirit, why are you going through this? Why is this situation kind of happening? Because I ask if you can go outside of the family member, what's going to happen? And they're showing me this sort of blocked, stuck energy, kind of like what Kathy was picking up on as well. It's like you feel like you can get the keys to a place, but it's blocked and smashed and something. I'm like, okay, why in the hell does Kat have to go through this? What is going on here? And what they're showing me is that it has everything to do with some kind of reconciliation with a male. So I'm not sure fully if this is the father, but they're showing me that there's opportunity that comes with family who is a male energy. And it's somebody who was unstable or maybe a little bit shady and sneaky in the past, who is now distant, but has going through this lesson and helping them to heal whatever damage was done ends up in abundance for you. So there is an important thing, and there is like an important journey and lesson for yourself. There's an important healing for somebody else as well. But the ultimate goal is it ends up in abundance for you. So this is the time to sort of, it's really a coming to terms with the past, and it's being reflected by your living situation. Just because this is going to be, it's an issue that comes from the effect of your personal foundation in your youth, and will be affecting your personal foundation moving forward. The bricks that you're building of yourself in your life are all being affected at this moment. So it might seem very frustrating. Trust me, you're not going to go without. You're not going to end up homeless.
Yeah.
But you are going to have to go with the flow right now. And you're not going to have control over it. And that's going to be part of this lesson to learn for you, Kay, is you're not going to be able to control this entire situation and scenario. And it's going to piss you off because you're busting your ass, working to the bone, and you can't even, get what you personally want for your own self. So it is going to result in something with you having a sense of abundance, you being where you do want to be, and also having healed relationships here. So stick with it. Be a little bit malleable right now, just for the next, about 2-3 months, I feel. And I think you're going to see yourself in a much better position.
She's asking, will something come about soon?
Yeah, I think, like I said, about 2 or 3 months, it's going to be a little uncomfortable. Definitely this first month is going to be real uncomfortable, but I think you'll start seeing movement in that second month. And then honestly, you could even be totally rid of the difficult situation in 3 months. So just know that this is an important moment of growth, not just for you, but other people that you're about to be connected with. So
I almost feel like if your father was to offer, as much as it may, cause a temporary relief for you in some way, I do really feel a resistance energy from them as well, from him. It's not because he doesn't want to have you or anything like that. It just feels like whatever this other party is, it feels like this they could create some sort of even worse energy. I don't know what you and your father's relationship was, but I have to agree with Brandon here in that it just feels like very repressed energy. Maybe he wasn't, like the most attentive father, or maybe you always kind of seeked his attention, or, maybe you felt kind of left behind with him in some way. But I do get this energy that he kind of wants to make it up, but there is that resistance that's coming through as well. So there could be some tensions within that.
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, it just feels very like, I don't feel like being there would almost be worse than where you are currently, so
But there is a righting of wrongs coming. So just stay focused. You might have to bite the bullet for a little bit, but trust me, this is gonna equal out better for you.
Yeah, and she's saying that his girlfriend puts in a lot of nasty energy too. I really get that from them. Like it's almost like you're going to be an invader, is what I get, and I don't feel like that would be a better energy for you than where you are. Like it almost feels like this energy. It may be stagnant. It may be but I mean, if you can, even if it's a matter of you know literally going to the dollar store and getting some decorations that make you feel good in your space, or little plants, or, just positive sayings, or really focusing in on, what it is that you watch or read or, pay attention to. I feel like that may help you in some way. It'll help change that energy. I'll help get out of that place. I just almost feel like if you were to go there, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the energy may even be worse, maybe worse. So, and then, it'll be hard to move forward. So,
Well, it might just bring you stuck back in old childhood patterns. You don't want to
right.
be.
Yeah. And
You don't want to be in them.
yeah, it's something that you don't want to, be in around
Yeah,
again.
you don't want to get stuck in.
Yeah. I hope that's helped. Yeah, I would say stay at your friends, save what you can, put away what you can, do whatever it is that you can, and then even if you have to start looking or putting feelers out to see if there's other friends, or, maybe your own place or something along that line. Especially if it's, I mean, maybe you can negotiate on the rent or something like that with your friend. Like maybe there's something that you can do, or, work this through in some way. Find ways to maybe cut corners or whatever it is to start saving in some way. But I just feel, I feel like the energy may be worse by going to your father's. But yeah. So, Levity is next. Okay, I truly hope that that's helped, and gave you a little bit of clarity for right now. And we're gonna go to Love Tea. Is she here?
Love tea. Just a heads up, things might be happening. I can hear. Y'all know my story. We've got the whole apartment sharing, and yes, they were practicing the trombone again, but I can hear all sorts of fire alarms. So if all of a sudden it gets real loud, I'm gonna have to mute. So
All right, no worries.
be
We've
prepared if
actually
I
got
stop.
lightning here, so just
Nice.
a heads up. Yeah, we've got a storm that's going on right now. So
Well, we are running
just
out
got
of
a big
time.
lightning thing right outside of my window. So
We are running out of time, so let's get to love tea, and then maybe I think we do probably one lottery here.
yeah.
Because we are much past our time.
Okay.
Love tea. If we don't hear from it, we'll just give you a reading and tell you your little minute marker here, and then we'll do one.
Okay.
One lottery. Let me pull up the random number generator just to make sure we get it. There's only 3 people, so 1 through 3. Okay.
What is Love Tea's question?
Okay. Love tea is here. Awesome. Love tea. Where is R's view currently on us? He's a Capricorn and I'm an Aries. Mr. Capricorn R. Not to be confused with the pirate R. Why do I talk?
Okay, so Love Tea, I'm going to ask you a question. Has he made some advances forward? Because I really feel like there's some sort of contact energy. There's some sort of communication energy in some way. Is Love T, is she the one in school?
I don't know.
Love T, are you in school? Like, is this, you guys are in college?
Oh, well, they're like, I think they work as professors or something, teachers.
Have a good night, Cliff.
Bye,
Okay.
mate.
Yeah. So yeah, he has. Okay. So, cause I really feel like this contact has been coming in. Okay. All right.
Look at
The one that
that.
ended up, yeah. Okay. um, okay. So, right, what it's interesting. You know what I'm getting here is even though he's the one that ended up fixing it and everything like that, I'm really feeling you're the strength that he's radiating towards. Okay. So even though he was kind of, the hero in fixing the car, you are the strength here. And I keep feeling like I don't know, something has happened within this energy where all of a sudden you have elevated in his mind, in his, um, okay, I don't say this very often. So, and you guys know this because you guys watch. He's got you on the mind a lot. Like you're on his mind. And this is what I keep feeling. And he's really elevated you beyond a place that you guys were before. Like he's looking at you as strength, as strong, as independent, as something like I'm seeing him looking at you as somebody that he can something with build something with, like create something with. Now, I do feel that this energy also gives him a little bit of a scare. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if he's quite ready, for the whole settling down, thing or anything like that. So, but I keep feeling here, allow him to be the one that keeps coming forward, that pursues, that shows you his strength now. Okay. Um, so I'm looking at the two of you and I'm literally seeing like, okay, I love it when spirit shows me stuff, but sometimes it's kind of silly, like puppy dog eyes. Like I'm kind of seeing like these puppy dog eyes of him looking towards you. So I feel like to stay in that energy, what I do feel could screw it up. Okay. And when I say screw it up, I don't want to panic you or anything like that, is you stay strong in you. Okay. You let him come forward. Just if you don't hear from him, don't worry about it because he will come back. Um, just be in that strength. And I do feel some invading of your boundaries. Okay. Again, going back into the boundaries where he may try to, when I say this, I don't want it to be taken in the full extent of how it's coming out, but he may try to weaken you, like, let's say you guys make a date, he may not show up, but kind of cancel at the last minute. It's something silly like that to try to show that he's kind of in charge. Okay. And it's going to be really important that you maintain those boundaries within yourself. Okay. And like unless it was, literally like the guy broke his leg. Okay, well, we can understand that. But if he's just being a flake and he's flaking off and he says something like, oh, I forgot about today, or I can't make it, or I forgot, whatever it is, you literally ask him, are you just being a flake? Because that's not cool. I'm not into flakes. So, you want him to show you that effort, and so don't chase this man is what I keep getting. Do not chase him. Keep your boundaries tight. Doesn't mean to be a witch, but keep that, because he's the one that has to start, prove. Oh, he laughed. He tried that. He wanted to meet up. He said his apartment. I said a walk. He said no, his apartment. Yes. I am so proud of you, girl. Good for you. Right.
Well, he is.
See, and that's exactly what I keep feeling. You got to keep those boundaries, because the minute that you let those boundaries kind of go, he's like woof, like the wolf, and so you got to keep those boundaries tight. That's what I keep feeling. So
Yeah, 100%. You got to be you got to be very clear in what you're going after, what you're wanting, and set those lines. I do feel quite a bit of abundance of energy here between you and R. It does look like sometimes it borders between friction and conflict, but passion and a sort of spiritual intensity to it. So you vacillate between both of them, which is kind of interesting. And where you end up is sort of a generalization about the kind of day that you're both having. So you could either be, if you're having a good day, it probably could end up in that more spiritual intensity and passion. If you're having a bad day, it probably could end up in this conflict, argumentative kind of style. So it's really dependent, but your energy fluctuates both together in that way, in this connection. Looking at R here specifically, I really feel him being upset by the friend zone.
yeah.
I do feel him being frustrated, and it's like there's split reactions in him. It's like he is going to act a little cool and coy and might try to be just purposefully distant. But I'm telling you, when I'm looking at his intentions and what he wants, he is trying every which way to bust down your walls. He's definitely going to try. That's why you just got to be very, very clear as to what he's doing, what are his motivations, why is he wanting to do this? Right now, it does kind of feel like this energy of just wanting you to let him in, to open up and let him in. But he doesn't really, it's like he's not considering what that would even mean for you yet. He just knows that he feels like he has to get you to do that. So even if it does involve, setting parameters on certain plans that he wants to make, or, cutting things off early when you're like, nope, this is enough. It's going to start going in a direction I don't want to. I'm going home. Then you got to do what you got to do. Be very discerning right now. Like Kathy is saying, put up your boundaries when you need to. And don't let him just, break you open for the sake of you breaking open and bringing your walls down. You got to know that it's worth it. You've got your head on straight. You know what you're doing. But just know his energy. Yeah. He's wanting to get you to open up. So you got to take that in stride with how much you want to. That's all on you. Those are your decisions. But the energy, it really feels quite intense, and it feels generally positive. Like I said, it depends on the day both of you are having. But I mean, that intensity really can be beautiful. It leads to really great intimacy, really, really great intimacy. Also very deep spiritual truths as well. But it can be, in that very same breath, you could end up mortal enemies. So you just got to make sure you clear your own stuff, and don't drag in any ego into the connection.
So what I'm hearing also too here is he wants, it's almost as though he wants you to be vulnerable, but he doesn't want to be vulnerable. So also watch for false vulnerability, because I do feel that he may know that he has to be vulnerable in order to make this connection. I'm also getting here that your intuition and sense is very strong. So you're going to know when you're being fed. Like when I talk about fake vulnerability, it's sort of somebody kind of opening up and, oh, this really affected me, this one thing. And oh, look at my heart, and I'm pouring it out to you. But you can sit there and you're like, what kind of crap is this? Like, you're not, like you're reading like a script. You know what I mean? It's that type of energy. And I do feel that he may at some point try this, and it's basically to give off that impression that he's trying to match your energy, or again trying to get you over to his house, or get his way in some way So what I am getting here is, again, the boundaries, and follow your intuition. If it feels fake, it is fake. Okay. So I hope that's helped, Love Tea. Isabel, I don't know if you want to put her on the list or not.
Oh, so, if it's on Facebook, I can't see, so it's already too late. We only have one reading left.
Yeah.
But please join us next week. Make sure you subscribe to the Oracle Intuitions YouTube channel, and that's where you can submit your questions to get a reading from the show. So if you're listening on Facebook, hop over to Oracle Intuitions, hit the subscribe button, and join us next week. We would love to give you a reading.
See, I love this. By the way, the private story on Snapchat thing you said a month ago, he did exactly that. Yeah, I felt that. I was like, okay, yeah, it's that's so cool. Yeah, I mean,
that.
Yeah. So you're so welcome. Just keep that strength, because I'm telling you that it's drawing him in. But you literally don't want to give this guy an inch right now. You know what I mean? Like,
as much as it may feel good, you might want to.
Yeah. So
Not
thank
the
you
time.
so much, Love Tea. It's awesome to have you. So let's do we're gonna do a random generator reading.
Here we go, our lucky lottery winner for today. Remember, if you want to get a full private reading with me, you can go over to thedreamteacher.com, click on the appointments, set one up, pick the date and the time, and we are golden, baby. Thedreamteacher.com.
And if you would like to book a reading with me, you can contact me at oracleintuitions.com or oracleintuitions1111@gmail.com. Probably the best way to reach me is actually through my Facebook page or my Instagram at Oracle Intuitions. Those ones I usually see first. So contact me through there. I do offer 1 hour readings, and these are going to be through video chat usually, unless you prefer phone. So it is like a face-to-face type of reading as much as we can in this time and day. So, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Okay, we've got our 3 contestants. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Esha, ER, and Will.
Are they all here? We should ask, actually. Is everybody here?
I did ask for a roll call. I'm pretty sure Esha's here. Will, I'm not sure if Will's here. And ER, I'm not sure if Alea is here as well. So we could have an automatic winner. We don't know. Esha is here. I thought so.
Do you hear that lightning? Can you hear the thunder?
No, I hear sirens over here.
Oh, do you? Hey, Will. Will's here.
Will is here. All right. And our ER, I think ER is a new listener.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if they are here anymore. So that's why you got to make sure you stay till the end if you are in the lottery. Just because.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Awesome. All right, let's hit our number generator. Let's see who comes up. Is it going to be 1, 2, or 3? All right, number 1. That is Esha. All right, Esha.
What would Esha like to know? Congratulations, Esha. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Hey, everybody that's here, you know what? We truly appreciate you staying, watching the entire show, staying subscribed, all of that. It means so much to us. And, make sure that you don't unsubscribe, because that really does kind of screw with the algorithm that we have going on. It can really make things, YouTube. We want you guys to be able to enjoy the show. And when the subscriptions go up and down and all of that stuff, it can make it very, very difficult, to build up that subscriber list. We want to be able to be here for you all the time. And, and if we can't get to you this week, we will try to get to you next week. Okay. Remember, guys, if you want a guaranteed reading, it is a $10 donation. Otherwise, we do put you onto the lottery list. So thanks so much, everybody, for watching again. What is Esha's question?
All right.
Hey, Adam.
Esha is Aquarius.
Okay.
And asking, what will happen in the future between Kate and I? Kate is a new love interest. We are talking and getting to know each other. Do you happen to know Kate's date of birth, Esha, or her zodiac sign? If so, gladly share it, but let's see what Kathy is picking up here. Sorry for my loud chair.
That's okay.
Gem.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I love this vibration. 2 air signs. Yes, Gaga.
I feel like intellectually you guys can get along very well. Okay. I do feel like there's probably very good conversations. I feel like the connection between the two of you, sometimes it can be on a little bit of a different plane, but that's not a bad thing. Yeah. It's because of that Aquarius and Gemini, the Aquarius is more that humanitarian and more into the higher realms. Sometimes Gemini can be a little bit more overthinking and debating, and don't always follow the intuition that's coming in, especially if it's in a sun sign. It doesn't mean that they're not intuitive or anything like that. It just means that sometimes they can be a little bit back and forth. So what I'm getting here is I do feel that you guys can have these really great conversations for sure. I really feel a lot of, I don't know if you guys have met, in person, but I feel a lot of sexual energy that is happening here with the two of you. So whether this is an energy between the two of you, or whether this is an in-person type of energy, I do feel with Kate, Asha, I have to ask a question. Is there somebody attached to Kate in some way? I want to say this could be a past relationship. Maybe perhaps they're still in a relationship of some sort. It just feels as though Kate there's a bit of concentration. It's that something is pulling her energy. It's dividing her energy is what I want to say.
Is she living with the ex?
Yeah. Okay. A few months ago, because I do feel her being still in that energy, a bit of that breakup. I don't feel that there was a closure in that energy. Oh, okay. She was dumped by her previous girlfriend. That makes a lot of sense. So it's almost as though she's still looking or seeking for some answer, that I don't feel is going to come, to be honest. And or if she keeps pursuing it or trying to get some sort of answer or closure from this, like doors are I feel like there's a lot of doors, but let me reiterate that. I feel like sometimes, like this previous girlfriend, there's some manipulative energy there. I feel like sometimes they crack that door open and then slam it. Open it and slam it. So they may have that I feel like Kate needs the closure is what I keep getting. And so what I'm going to suggest to you for you, Esha, is that I'm just focusing in on what's happening here, because I do feel with this previous girlfriend, I don't know if they're completely, like if they're cracking that door open a little bit. When I say cracking that door open, it doesn't mean that they want another relationship with them or with Kate. It means that there is some sort of ego that is being satisfied by Kate, maybe perhaps seeking a closure of some sort. And so when that ego is fed, this person might slam the door. Or close the door, until whatever. So I feel Kate really needs a lot of healing right now. There's a healing energy that really needs to come through for her, or that she really needs to help with her healing. I do feel the two of you can have a relationship, but I am getting here that when I say don't put all of your energy towards her, I don't mean that you can't do this in the future. I feel that for right now, you have to kind of allow her to do the healing that is necessary for her to start taking those steps towards you to build a relationship with you. So if you were to go all in at this moment and be the one that's always texting or phoning or messaging or trying to get together or all of that, you could get hurt. Just being straight up, you could get hurt. Because I do feel that she needs to kind of be the one to do it. But I do feel at some point here that you may have to confront this energy, or confront her, not her, the other energy. Say to Kate, where do you want to go with this? Where do you want to go with this? Because again, because this other door keeps kind of opening a bit and then slamming and opening. So that confuses Kate. And so as much as she wants to be with you, she's sort of sideways looking at this other door and seeing if it's cracking open, because it's not that I don't really feel that she has that love towards this person anymore, but she wants that closure, and it feels like she's really focusing in on that closure. So I hope that makes sense. So I feel like you need to, again, you may have to, this is such a boundary show, keeping the boundaries, and allowing her, to, you don't want to do too much pursuing here, simply because of the fact that you could get hurt. Okay. And that doesn't mean that something can't happen in the future, because I do feel that something could really happen in the future. What I'm getting though, is that if you are pursuing and she's back and forth, that's going to leave you in a place of confusion. And it's going to leave you in a place of, being a little bit lost within your own energy too. Okay. I know as Aquarius myself, it's really hard for us to put something towards somebody, that energy, of emotion. And when we do, we really expect it also back, or it's not like I expect it back, but it's like we want to be in that place of trust and honesty and feeling that we're getting that reciprocation. Okay. And so, right, hard to, like, because once we start being vulnerable, it's like an outpouring of vulnerability, right? And so you really kind of want to, hold back a bit, is what I can. So I do feel this could go further though.
Why do I just feel like bubbles and laughter and fun all around you right now? Like, I just feel you wanted to have fun. Your energy feels like in this nice little upbeat kind of place. I really say that because it's really important to keep that energy right now. Kathy is spot on here in what's going on with Kate. When I'm tapping into the energy between you two, I do feel like it was like divine intervention, the way that the two of you just kind of ran into each other and you met. Maybe it was like this I keep seeing a social energy. Maybe it was some kind of social event or what have you, a party, whatever. But it was like you are not expecting to feel this emotional intensity so quick, so just right away. And I do feel like there is reason for that. It feels like there's something, important to be said there. When I'm looking at Kate, her thoughts, her feelings towards you, I mean, there in a lot of ways already feels like there is a bond with you. It feels like it's already growing into like roots and getting quick. There's a pretty infamous joke about women and U-Hauls, if you've ever heard of it. But the point being here is that it feels like there could be a latch. And this is what Kathy was talking about. So I'm going to describe it the way that I'm being shown. It feels like there could be a latch and then all of a sudden a total detachment of like her being gone, disappearing, whatever. You know it. Kathy's already said it. I'm telling you the same thing as well. She is going to have to get closure because of that ex and that relationship. She's going to have to, as the way Spirit shows me, she has to deal with a death, and that's going to be the end of that connection there. As far as her intentions, I do feel her. You know what I'm talking about. See, we see each other. I do feel in her intentions that she really does want to feel this bounty of life, this sense of harmony with you. I feel like when she talks to you, she just feels like you get her, and there really is this rapport between the two of you where you do speak similar languages. I feel like, I don't know if this has come up already, but for whatever reason, I feel like politics and things like that could be a little bit of a rough edge in conversation between you both. So just stay on the vibes that is friendly and fun. But now you're going to have to make this determination, because I sat back and forth in my mind and I'm like, okay, what does Esha need to do with this situation? And what Spirit kept showing me is that like she needs to figure out what's right. If she you're realizing all the things that we're telling you could essentially make you a rebound, right? Like you get that, you see that. Yeah, I think you're aware of that. And if you want to be that or not, that's going to be your decision. That's why I took the time to ask Spirit, what's to come between the two of you and what is going to be the nature of the relationship? And what I'm shown is that your connection is going to create growth through security, so that your connection does get stronger and more secure over time. And it does seem to be like there is an important energy that you both are experiencing with one another as far as that sort of divine intervention was concerned, and this similarity of wavelengths and rapport. What I'm being shown here is that it really is going to ultimately be up to you and how much you want to let things develop and become more serious, because you don't want her to latch onto you only to go back to the ex for closure. But what you do want to be is friendly, supportive. And that's why I told you, about the energy I was feeling in you right now. It really feels important to have fun. I don't know how much I would let things get super, super serious if you're trying to save your own self heartache, because she is going to have to revisit the death of that relationship in the past, amidst your connection. So it's up to you and how you want to handle this. You could be totally okay with being the rebound, be like, yeah, let's have a good time. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time, and that's totally cool too. But if you did want it to develop into something, then maybe you take a little bit of extra cautious steps, of like, okay, I don't, want the chance to lose you and us just to be a one-time fling thing. But staying on that friendship level right now, being supportive, I'm telling you, that is just gonna, for her, it's gonna be like, yo, you have been so loyal. Like, I could not have done this without you. Like, let's hang out more. Let's, get to know each other. And besides, let's be honest, that sort of temptation, the lusting of like, oh, we're friends, but we know we can't come together right now. It's like that sort of build up. That is some good stuff right there. So I think, make your decisions as it is, but she's definitely interested. She's got to go through some healing before she can really fully be vulnerable and open up to you.
Yeah.
So let that time be taken.
Thank you.
But beautiful bonds. I want to come hang out with you girls. Oh my God. I want to go out and have some fun.
Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode.
Yes.
We will. Oh, hey guys, don't forget Sunday we are doing a conspiracy show with Dan Hammond. This is going to be lots of fun. So we're going to be like talking about the Matrix. We're going to talk about conspiracy theories. We're going to like, these are going to be more supernatural, probably, you know, conspiracy theories, more on that element there. The Mandela effect, all kinds of things. We're going to see what we can dig up, and we hope you guys can join us. This is at 2:00 Mountain Time right here on our channel. And don't forget to join us on Wednesday for another reading. Oh, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. you know what? I don't think I can do it next Wednesday. So Brandon and so watch, please, you guys, the channel. We're going to have to do it either Tuesday or Thursday, because that is the day that I get my medicine, and it makes me kind of knocked out for the day. So yeah, I'm not going to be a awake camper on that day. So we're going to have to do, you know, either Tuesday or Thursday. Brandon and I will decide, and we will, you know, make the show and let you guys know ahead of time. Again, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being here. We, you know, truly appreciate it. Don't forget, stay subscribed, guys, because we will be here next week. Try and catch the rest of our shows. And thanks so much for watching. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.